So I'm going to ask you to move because it's not your business what they're discussing with the officers. So you can move back further where you can't hear them because they're having a private meeting. So I don't think you're involved in this.
Is there a law that says I have to do that?
I'm asking you to move.
I understand, and I'm asking you if there's a law that says I have to do that.
There's no law, but
and I am a
like
private citizen,
decency.
and you will answer my questions when I ask you, okay?
There's human decency to live
And
in
I'm being
privacy.
very decent. I'm
Okay.
30, 40 feet away, okay? So don't try to give unlawful demands.
I just
Understood?
don't know why you're spending your time doing this.
Do we understand each other? Don't give unlawful
What
demands.
are you doing? Like, why are you
Do
doing
we understand
this?
each other? Yes or no?
I'm not
Just
answering your questions because they're adversarial.
Okay, well, you're also not controlling this conversation, so go about your business and get back to work.
Being rude to them.
The tension escalates as Officer Connors demands the cameraman leave the public area under the pretext of protecting the privacy of an unrelated meeting. Instead of blindly complying, the auditor challenges the legal basis of this demand, turning the interaction into a heated confrontation over authority. Does a law enforcement officer have the power to force a citizen to move without a legal violation? Or is this simply an attempt to suppress the freedom to film? Join ID Refusal 101 as we examine the line between lawful orders and the overstepping of authority in this encounter. We extend our gratitude to the original creator for this footage and encourage everyone to follow their channel to support civil rights transparency.
Welcome to ID Refusal 101. We're here to arm you with legal knowledge to protect yourself. Subscribe now to know your rights and how to assert them. And now, enjoy the video.
Good evening, how you doing?
All right?
I'll move out of your shop. You trying to film them or what's going on?
Film anything I can see from public.
Oh yeah, absolutely. How's your day going?
Good, how about yours?
It's a little warm. It's a nice warm evening. You enjoying it so far?
Yeah, it's all right.
It's
Have your name and badge number?
Jeroge 516.
And yours?
475 Connors.
What was it?
475 Connors.
Connors 475. Cool.
What's your name?
Nah, I don't answer questions.
Oh,
Hey, why don't you let me hang out?
okay.
It's a nice night. I'll take care.
All right. Have a good night, Art.
Yep, you too.
Thanks. Try to enjoy it a little bit. Smile.
Do you know these people?
I don't answer questions.
So I'm going to ask you to move because it's not your business what they're discussing with the officers. So you can move back further where you can't hear them because they're having a private meeting. So I don't think you're involved in this.
Is there a law that says I have to do that?
I'm asking you to move.
I understand, and I'm asking you if there's a law that says I have to do that.
There's no law, but
And I am a
there's, like,
private
human
citizen,
decency.
and you will answer my questions when I ask you,
There's
okay?
human decency to live
And
in
I'm being very
privacy.
decent. I'm
Okay.
30, 40 feet away, okay? So don't try to give unlawful demands.
The confrontation begins when the auditor requests Officer Connor's name and badge number. Despite an initial polite exchange, Officer Connor's demeanor shifts as she orders the citizen to move back, claiming the need for privacy during a field investigation. Here, ID Refusal highlights a common law enforcement error, confusing personal requests with lawful orders. Under the First Amendment, citizens have the right to film police in public spaces as long as they do not physically interfere with their duties. Officer Connors failed to provide any specific statute or legal basis when the auditor questioned her authority to force him to move. Her assertion that she is a private citizen who can demand answers from the auditor constitutes police misconduct and a potential Fourth Amendment violation regarding unreasonable interference. The auditor was legally correct by maintaining a 30 to 40-foot distance to ensure he was not obstructing a crime scene or traffic stop. ID Refusal advises viewers to remain calm, repeatedly ask for the legal authority behind any order, and exercise the right to remain silent during unnecessary questioning. In this encounter, Officer Connor's demand was clearly an unlawful order, and the auditor's refusal to comply was protected by law.
I just
Understood?
don't know why you're spending your time doing this.
Do we understand each other? Don't give unlawful
What are you
demands.
doing? Like, why are you
Do we
doing
understand
this?
each other? Yes or no?
I'm not
Just
answering your questions because they're adversarial.
Okay, well, you're also not controlling this conversation, so go about your business and get back to work.
Being rude to them. That's as a human being.
Talking to you.
It's not your business.
Bye. Go back
It's
to
not your
work.
business.
Kick rocks.
I'm at my work.
And you're not doing your job.
I can be here.
You're not doing. You can
So
be
why
here
are
all
you
you
spending
want.
your night doing
You're not
this?
doing your job.
I'm curious.
So we got Connors, guys. Likes to give unlawful demands, trying to be
I
controlling.
just don't understand what your point is.
Now she's using her
Hi there.
phone.
What does he need? Okay, I'm out with someone who wants to film something that they're not involved in right now. So I'm hanging out with them just for a moment.
So I
that
don't
they can
understand
finish
why
this
they come
call.
try to give unlawful demands
So,
and they have
thanks.
no
I'll
authority.
take care of that later. Thanks. Bye.
The tension escalates as Officer Connors attempts to force the auditor into a yes or no questioning trap to establish dominance. This tactic fails miserably against the auditor's firm stance. In this ID refusal analysis, we see that using coercive questioning without reasonable suspicion of a crime is a hallmark of police misconduct designed to intimidate those unfamiliar with the law. The auditor exercised his First Amendment rights perfectly by stating that Officer Connors does not control the conversation and demanding she return to her duties instead of wasting taxpayer resources on a personal dispute. Legally, unless there is a secured crime scene or a lawful dispersal order, police lack the authority to prevent citizens from observing from a safe distance. ID Refusal notes that Officer Connors calling for backup simply because someone is filming is an unnecessary escalation. The auditor was correct to point out that her engaging in an argument rather than performing her job is a sign of poor professional conduct. ID Refusal advises viewers to stand their ground and clearly assert their right to remain silent when faced with baseless interrogation. In this encounter, the auditor successfully maintained the upper hand by refusing to submit to an unlawful exercise of authority.
Hope you got what you needed. If that was your family, I hope no random person's showing up and filming that. So maybe you should check yourself that way.
Maybe you should kick rocks and go back to work.
So why do you go out at night and do this?
Go back to work. Why are you trying to talk to me? I already told you I'm not answering questions.
What else do you have to do tonight?
I'm not answering questions.
Okay.
Go back to work.
So you're just gonna stand out here and film at my workplace?
Absolutely.
I am working right now, so I don't have to go back anywhere.
Officer Connors shifts her tactics from legal orders to moral shaming by invoking family and privacy to exert psychological pressure on the auditor. This is a clear example of police misconduct where an officer attempts to guilt a citizen into waiving their First Amendment rights. ID Refusal observes that in public spaces there is no reasonable expectation of privacy for events occurring in plain view. Officer Connors' attempt to question the auditor's motives at her workplace is an intrusive effort to undermine individual liberties protected under the Fourth Amendment. The auditor handled the situation decisively by telling Officer Connors to return to her duties instead of engaging in pointless bickering. He correctly asserted that the public space where she performs her duty is the same space where he performs his oversight work. ID Refusal emphasizes that law enforcement cannot substitute personal emotions for legal statutes. You are under no obligation to explain your presence or your reasons for filming in public. The lesson from ID Refusal here is to remain firm with the no questions stance and remind the officer to focus on their professional conduct rather than interfering with your civil liberties.
So what's the point of giving an unlawful demand? Let me ask you that.
I asked you as a human being not to film their family.
Well,
'cause that's very
you
rude.
came up aggressively, and the average citizen
Right.
who doesn't know their rights, they would have probably bowed down and listened.
I just feel bad because these kids were so small, and to have a guy filming them, that's kind of
Actually, they weren't on camera
that's
at all.
pretty rude.
They actually weren't on camera
So
at
maybe
all.
you
It was
should
just
check
you
yourself,
guys.
like as a human being, if you should be doing
Maybe
that,
you
'cause
should
that's
check
their
yourself
business.
and do your job right and stop giving
I
unlawful
hope you enjoy your
demands.
night standing out here filming
Perfect.
our police department.
Finally, they go back to work. Holy fuck.
In the final phase of this confrontation, the auditor turns the tables by directly questioning Officer Connors on the purpose of her unlawful demands. ID Refusal analyzes this as a pivotal moment where the auditor exposes the nature of police aggression, an attempt to suppress citizens who are unaware of their legal rights. Under the First Amendment, the right to monitor and film public officials is absolute in public spaces. Officer Connors makes a final attempt to create social stigma by accusing the auditor of filming minors, yet the auditor swiftly rebuts that the camera was focused solely on the officers. Officer Connors' attempt to distort the facts is a classic sign of police misconduct. ID Refusal highlights that the only difference between a submissive citizen and a confident auditor is knowledge of the Constitution. When police cannot find a legal violation to justify a traffic stop or detention, they are forced to retreat. Officer Connors finally returning to her vehicle is a victory for civil rights enforcement. ID Refusal advises viewers to always demand the legal basis for any order and never let an officer's emotions or moral grandstanding undermine your legal standing. This confrontation between Officer Connors and the auditor serves as a vital lesson in civil rights within public spaces. ID Refusal gives Officer Connors an F grade for her abuse of power, issuance of unlawful demands, and attempts at moral shaming to suppress filming rights. In contrast, the auditor earns an A for his unwavering resolve and mastery of the First and Fourth Amendments to maintain his legal boundaries. This video effectively demonstrates the right to monitor public officials and the right to remain silent during baseless questioning. ID Refusal advises you to always demand that officers cite specific statutes when ordered to move or identify yourself without reasonable suspicion of a crime. Do not let aggression intimidate you, as legal knowledge is your strongest shield. Please support the original creator to empower those monitoring civil rights, and subscribe to ID Refusal 101 for more in-depth analyses of your constitutional protections.
Knowing your rights isn't being difficult, it's being prepared. If this video helped you understand your legal rights, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Drop a comment below, tell us your story, ask a question, or suggest the next encounter we should break down. This is ID Refusal 101, where we teach the basics of your right. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.